Thank you, Madam Secretary. And I'm going to turn now to Senator Wyden, who has to leave immediately and attend a hearing in finance to try to make sure that our children have formula.
Not a hearing, but it's hectic. And Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for the courtesy. And to Senator Barrasso, just a word on this energy debate, and then I'm going to go to forestry. And a number of colleagues have heard this. I will say, colleagues, I think there is a path out of the traditional gridlock with respect to energy policy. And a number of you know about this because it was actually birthed here in the Energy Committee. And it's premised on technological neutrality. Market-oriented, private sector, incentives for reducing carbon. And I would just note this morning, colleagues, the Chamber of Commerce wrote everybody to say they like technological neutrality. Environmental folks like technological neutrality. And I just wanted to spend a quick minute, and I so appreciate the courtesy of our chair, to say it seems to me all of our committees, and I see my friend Senator Murkowski, because she was around when we birthed this idea of technological neutrality with respect to energy and getting government out of the business. And so I just wanted to say a quick word as we all work together on this issue. Madam Secretary, great to see you. As you know, the West, and right now, I see my friend Senator Heinrich here, we are consumed by the prospect of another very difficult summer getting hammered by fire. We know these fires today, they aren't your grandfather's fires. They're bigger, they're hotter, they're more powerful, they leap over rivers, and we're getting whole towns whacked. So what I'd like to start with, as you know, we were able to secure a significant amount of funding for wildfire management in the infrastructure bill, $5 billion. Our rural communities are looking at this as a lifeline, and I think it would be very helpful if you could start in and talk, for example, how this money can be used and when it could be used for targeted thinning, for prescribed fire, for fuels, treatment. If you could just walk us through a bit about your plans to use that money to help the West, because I'll tell you, everything we're seeing, Madam Secretary, another very, very ominous fire season. Please.
Thank you, Senator. And certainly I understand what you're saying. New Mexico is facing already a really terrible fire year. It's devastating. It's heartbreaking. Friends of ours having to evacuate. We understand that completely, and I am sorry. Unfortunately, there's a terrible drought, as you know, in the West. We're very grateful for the overall investments from the bipartisan infrastructure law, close to $1.5 billion over 5 years, that will work on fuels management and rehabilitation. I also want to say up front that very proud to have a very strong working relationship with Secretary Vilsack and the team in the Forest Service to make sure that we are working together to do all we can. We need to make sure that we have the boots on the ground in those areas. So one of the things that we're addressing, and I mentioned it in my opening remarks, we're working to make sure that firefighters make at least $15 an hour, moving some of the seasonal jobs into full-time jobs. And so all of those things, the equipment, the people, the fuels management in those areas, it's all important to us, and we're working together to make sure that.
One other question, if I might, Madam Secretary, and I especially appreciate the extra pay for firefighters. We have known this has been so outrageous over the years to see these folks not getting paid even anything resembling a fair wage. So really appreciate that. Now, I've been home, I've been having town hall meetings across rural Oregon, and I'm still hearing from a lot of folks on the ground, the local agencies, that they really haven't gotten the information they need with respect to how the federal government is going to work with them with respect to wildfire response. Do you have plans that you could give us and since I was chair of the committee, I remember how we used to do it. It goes to Senator Manchin, Senator Barrasso, and the like. Do you have plans that you could get us so that we could get them out to our local agencies? Because I'm still getting a lot of questions on that, and maybe you could even describe it. I'm almost out of time, but please.
Senator, we're more than happy to give you as many details as you would like. Our staff will absolutely
Good.
reach out to your staff, and if there are specific questions about specific numbers of acreage and funding and so forth, we can put all of those things together and make sure that you have the answers for your constituents.
Whatever you have in writing would be great. We look forward to it. You've always been responsive. Remember working with you in the House. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator.
Thank you, sir.